One Team One podcast back. It's your boy Matt, checking in. Auburn week. Wanted to come at you for a little bit. We can talk about Missouri game, my thoughts, but also leading up to Auburn week. Maybe a little bit of the history of Auburn. I know a couple other podcasts or shows have done that this week, but I have my own stories to tell. Starting with the earthquake game. I was actually at that game as a kid, so I'll talk about that. Talk about some of the, um, I guess, keys to this game coming up against Auburn. I was on an Auburn podcast the other day and kind of talked about this too, so I think it would be a good thing to talk about as far as how we match up against Auburn, maybe how we match up against the rest of the teams coming in for the rest of the season. Takeaways from Missouri and how maybe we can improve even more uh, based on that game. We'll get into it. Auburn week. It's crazy. It's weird. Always weird. Something's happening. Speaking of weird, Patrick Michelson. No, I'm just kidding. Patrick Michelson over at Highlands Residential Mortgage. We appreciate Patrick, all of his support with the podcast. You can reach out to him directly, 225-939-9878. He can help you with all your mortgage, all your refi needs. Rates are a little okay. I mean, compared to what they were, I guess, a year ago, they're actually all right now. But let him find you a good product, a good rate. He can help you through that whole process. Patrick's the best. Talk to him about LSU football. He loves it. His dad played at LSU. Great guy. Reach out to Patrick for all your mortgage, refi needs. He can help you with all the way down the road. So Patrick's a great guy. Also, Lucas Ragusa over at River Cities Total Maintenance. You can reach out to him directly, 504-841 3300 nola-ac.com. Lucas is also fantastic. Reach out to him. I might see him at tailgating this Saturday on campus. Great people, the Ragusas. Lucas can help you at North Shore, New Orleans area. Not only just AC work, they can check on your heater, obviously, but also refrigeration, electrical needs, anything like that they can help you with. Also, Bocock Brothers Cigars. Brothers.com. Great guys. Doug and Brant do fantastic work out of the Houston area. Go check them out. BocockBrothers.com. You can find them on the shelves in the Baton Rouge area. Churchill's, Cigar Den, Havana Port. You can find them there. They're always there, especially at Churchill's. I know they have a big following over there. So hashtag Be Cocky, BocockBrothers.com. All right. Let's get into it. Auburn week. I feel a little out of it, guys. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. We've probably done, 200, 300 shows by now? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Missouri. Let's talk about that game. All right, so we left last week. It was very doom and gloom. It was coming off of Ole Miss. We're saying, show me something from the Missouri game. Offense showed you a whole lot. And honestly, that this Missouri game feels like, okay, this is who we are, kind of game. Our offense is humming. We're gonna have to outscore teams, but also defensively, you kind of saw, okay, we made a couple of adjustments actually. We gave up a shit ton of yards, a ton of points. But if you watch the game, you can see, okay, it's 22 to 7. Things kind of change and momentum gets back on our side a little bit. But the little differences with, okay, Pete Jenkins just started with us, and all of a sudden the guys are playing a little bit further up. The defensive linemen are playing a little bit further up, closer to the ball. You're seeing stunts for the first time. I feel like all year that I saw a defensive line stunt. I saw aggression. I saw guys trying to penetrate. I saw Mason Smith playing with a little bit more attitude and a little bit more effort. Little things like that. Those are improvements that we can kind of build upon. It was still a shit show defensively. Do not kid yourself. I appreciate it. I love, Harold Perkins made a huge play there. Really stepped up into that linebacker nickel role and picked it off. Fantastic play. Major Burns at the end of the game with the pick, and I want you to score there. I'm sorry, Brian Kelly. I want you to score. I want all the confidence in the world for this defense right now. You need to feel like you can stop and make plays. So I loved it. Outside of those, obviously we didn't give up the points as much as in the second half. And it was a little better in the second half than it was in the first half, but don't kid yourself. They have holes. And I don't know if anybody really does, but I just don't want anybody to get that like fool's gold that, okay, we made a couple of plays and we can continue this. I think what's going to help this defense more than anything going forward the rest of the season is the style of play that you're for the rest of the season. Auburn is not going to be able to throw the ball like Missouri, Ole Miss, any of those teams can't. Florida State, they can't throw the ball like that. They don't have the receivers. They don't have the quarterback. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the down our throat. I'm still worried about that. But teams like Auburn, teams like, honestly, Alabama, we match up very well. We match up really well against Alabama. They're still going to be able to move the ball and run the ball down our throat. I don't see our defense being able to stop that necessarily yet, but does it play more to our strengths? Absolutely. Florida, Texas A&M. None of these offenses are like the offenses that we saw earlier that were cutting us apart. They're not Ole Miss. They're not Missouri. The scheme is different, and it matches up better with our personnel, in my opinion. Our defensive backfield is a mess. I just saw a tweet that Brian Kelly is meeting with Deuce Chestnut tomorrow to go over to talk about if he's, I guess, still on the team. What am I missing? Like, the guy's not on the team. It sounds like. And we got to wait till tomorrow. So today's Thursday. We have to wait till Friday to talk to Deuce Chestnut and see how he feels, if he still wants to be a part of this. Kind of what I'm feeling. Like, is it a mental health thing? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. But it just feels strange. Like, we got to wait till tomorrow? We're on this guy's time? Fuck you, bro. That's what I have to say. Let's move on. Left us high and dry going to Missouri. We came out all right. So I'll say this about the Missouri game. The Ole Miss game to me was still one of the hardest losses that I've ever dealt with. I compared it to the Texas A&M 2018 game. It was really, really hard for me to take. Our defense looked so bad, and I wasn't prepared for the level of bad. And I don't think anybody really was. But this game was a lot easier to digest, and it was more of, okay, this is just who we are. We better score. I was very upset after we took the kickoff. We won the toss. We took the ball. Love it. Love the attitude. 3 and out. And I thought we lost the game right there already. Like, it was already over. Like, you can't squander a possession like that when your defense is this bad. And what happens? It's 22-7. So then it's 22-7. We get the ball, and I'm like, okay, we got to score. We got to match up. We kick a field goal, 22-10. And I said to myself again, it's over. Game's over. They're about to go down, score another touchdown. It's going to be 29-10. We make a play. And man, did we need that. If the defense can just make a couple of stops, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, if they can just make a couple of stops, our offense is going to score with anybody. Now, let's move on to Auburn. Auburn, their defense is, to me, maybe on par with Florida State. Physically, they are. I mean, they were pushing Georgia around. They can play. How they react at LSU, maybe a different story. Could have been their crowd just kind of lighting them up. They're playing Georgia. To me, they're coming off of 2 losses, off of a bye week. They have a strong defense. They can run the ball. I could see this being a little bit lower scoring for us compared to what we've been in. A little bit more of a reasonable score, but you got to make your possessions count. And I don't think that's ever going to change this year. I think when we get the ball, we're going to have to produce. We can't have many 3 and outs. In my opinion, you can't get down early against an Auburn. You could do it against Missouri because of their offense and maybe making some mistakes. But if you get down early against Auburn, it's going to be harder to come back because their defense is better and they run the ball, and it's going to take some time off the clock. Can't afford to get down early. You're going to have to actually start fast. I think that's probably one of the biggest keys to this game is starting fast. Get up early, 3-0, 7-0, something like that. Let's start fast. Get ahead, because I don't know if you can beat this team from behind like you have. You had to come back against Ole Miss. You had to come back against Missouri. I don't know if this team is that style. I feel like you need to start fast and get ahead of them. And then it's going to be hard for them. Get them in a position where they have to throw the ball. I think that's where you want them to be right now, even though we don't guard it very well. I said this on a Auburn podcast. They were talking about their limitations of their offense right now and their, passing game. And I said, well, it's a get right game for you guys. So, congratulations. You get our defense to play against. Still, here's another facet to that scheme. How we're playing Auburn, we're playing Alabama, we're playing A&M, Florida. I feel like our defense can play a little bit. I guess play a little bit. I don't even know the word to say. More base, I would assume. You're playing up against a team that's going to run the ball more than you're going to throw the ball. You can play more guys up in the box. You can play a more man-to-man on the outside. You can play a little less zone. This whole prevent, can't let anybody get behind you, but people are going to get behind us anyway. You don't have to play that style of defense anymore. You can come up a little bit. You can be a little bit more aggressive at the line of scrimmage. And I'm talking about not just defensive line, but corners. My God, can we stop being 10 yards off of a wide receiver? Can we stop letting every offensive player get free releases off the line of scrimmage and let you just run wide receiver screens for 10 yards every play? So a little bit more up at the line, a little bit more aggressive. I'm missing the word that I'm trying to say here, but I think you get the point. I think that's more our style. And I think that's more the style of these players. These players, they played corners. They played man in high school. This is what they do. They're man-to-man corners. Let them play man. They get beat. We've been getting beat anyway. Dude, just threw for 400 yards last week. I mean, everybody's going to throw for a lot of yards. Auburn can barely throw 80 yards passing a game. They're going to probably have close to 200. If we can hold Auburn under 400 yards total, that's kind of a key to me. Now, offensively, I think you're playing against a really tough Auburn defense, but to me, the strengths for us in this game is going to be our offensive line. And can you run the ball successfully with Logan Diggs? And I think you can. I think we've pretty much shown that a little bit. And I tell you the same thing. Auburn is not going to play back on us. They're going to come up and they're going to blitz and they're going to push us at the line. And we're going to get some one-on-ones. We're going to have Malik, Brian Thomas, one-on-one. You're going to have Mason Taylor across the middle, one-on-one. We're going to have some matchups. And similar to last week, I feel like we need to start with the passing game, open up the run. And I keep saying, actually, I said that last week too, and I was even saying it during the game. And I was like, we need to throw the ball here. We need to throw the ball here. And then they run for 15 yards and then shut me up pretty fast. So I don't know. Maybe we don't need to tinker at all. Maybe we just need to run our offense. I was afraid at the Missouri game of us trying to be too conservative to keep our defense off the field. And it felt like that first 3 and out, we were trying to do that a little bit. But then we just got back in the groove and we were fine. But it scared me to death for a second. I don't think that that's the case against Auburn or any of these other teams. I think that our style of defense really matches up better. And am I crazy for that? Am I crazy thinking that? I don't know. So offensive line, I feel like that's the key. Starting fast, that's a key. If I would like to see us defer, maybe not take the ball. I feel like that puts too much pressure on our offense, and we already have enough pressure on our offense as it is. Let's defer, get the ball in the second half, kind of set us up, almost like how the Ole Miss game set us up, where we could get up 2 possessions at that point. But I think those are 2 keys: is start fast. Let's get up, even if they score first. If it's 7-0, we got to score. It's gonna be 7-7. Like, just know it. We're gonna score a touchdown. We can't let them get ahead by a couple scores. I think that's gonna be a problem area for us. Offensive line playing aggressive, running the ball up down their throat. I think that'll demoralize them a little bit because they hang their hat on their defense. And I think if you can run the ball, kind of see if you can stop their run. I don't want to see us getting any kind of track meet, and I don't think you're going to have to in this game. But I don't see us covering the spread. I think that's crazy. I think 11 points right now. I think that's easy money if you wanted to take Auburn. I'm not betting it at all, obviously, but I wouldn't take that bet. I wouldn't take LSU minus 11. That's way too many points for this defense. All right, so my score prediction for the game, and it's based on our defense. I am not comfortable. Even if they run the ball heavy, I'm not comfortable with our defensive line yet really just stuffing a run like that. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think, they even against Georgia, I think it was like 200-something yards rushing against Georgia. So what makes you think that we're going to stop them or anything? I see us giving up some points, but I see us being able to still score with them. My score is a little tighter than you would think, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I could be off a little bit. Either we score another touchdown late, or maybe they scored a touchdown late, something like that. But I have LSU 31, Auburn 27, 4-point win. Maybe that score is a little closer than what the game should indicate. That could be one of those kind of games where it's maybe they scored late. It was kind of garbage, almost like in 2019. That was a garbage score, and they hung their hat on that. Like, oh, we held you to 23-20 in 2019. Dude, it was like we should have scored like 3 times in the red zone. They scored late. They were never really in it. Something like that. I could see 34-27. I could see 31-24, something like that. Again, I don't see us really covering the spread because I just don't trust our defense is going to be able to score that many. And guys, Auburn's going to get up for this game. They're down. They lost 2 in a row in the SEC. Like, on a bye week, they're coming to LSU. Auburn, LSU. They're coming to play. If you think that we're gonna just blow them out, I mean, I love the attitude, but I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see us blowing anybody out. Maybe Army. Our defense just isn't quite there. Sorry, it's the worst defense of all time at LSU history. So I apologize for that. All right, so 31-27 LSU over Auburn. Again, big shout out to Patrick Michelson over at Highlands Mortgage. 225-939-9878. Give Patrick a call. All your mortgage refi needs. Also, Lucas at River Cities Total Maintenance. NOLA-AC.com, 504-841-3300. And Bocock Brothers Cigars. I'm going to go watch some football tonight. I had a coworker coax me into betting West Virginia -3 this afternoon. So I have to go watch that dog shit game. I'm going to smoke a Bocock cigar while I do it. So BocockBrothers.com, hashtag be cocky. Okay, so LSU 31, Auburn 27. I'll be out tailgating. Maybe I'm not sure. I'll be in the stadium club. If anybody's up in the stadium club, y'all see me. Come say hello. We'd love to talk to you. Go check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, also on TikTok. Go check it out. One Team, One Pod. And if you have any score predictions, leave them in the YouTube chat. I'd love to hear from you. Give us a like and a share. We would appreciate that as well. So I will talk to you guys next week. It has been One Team, One Podcast. Logan out.